Good evening. Welcome to Northern Maine Productions. So finally I figured I would bring an update to this Snapper rear engine rider. This is a machine that I've been working on since about Memorial Day weekend. That 11 horsepower engine is the one that I resurrected Memorial Day weekend. So I've been through a couple of battles with this thing. The first battle was the drive system on it. I had to take it apart to put new boots on the sliding gear case underneath there, and I had a very hard time getting this hub off right here. Apparently it's been on there for 50 years. It was stuck right on that axle shaft. After a considerable amount of beating and hammering and thrashing on it, I finally got it to loosen up. Second battle I've been through with this thing is with getting this engine to run right. I don't know if you remember, but in the previous videos I'd commented on how this thing seemed to misfire and pop and backfire a lot. Finally, tonight, I finally took at it. And I had to do a lot of diagnosing. It took some parts. Luckily I have a couple other parts machines here that have ignition coils and parts like that on them, and I changed the ignition coils on it, and it still did not work right. It still had that stupid misfire in mid-range and even under a load. Didn't idle good. What I finally figured out that was wrong with it was that brand new spark plug that I put in the thing was no good. I finally just took a random spark plug out of one of these old motors here and stuck it in there, and it starts right up and runs real good now. Can't get one to run much better than that, I guess. So as you can see, I put a new seat on it. I put a new muffler on it. I even put a headlight on the front of it. Works off of a toggle switch. I even think the alternator might even have enough amperage, just barely, to run that whole thing. Keep the battery charged and run the headlight. It's got a 3 amp alternator in it, and that light draws 2.7 amps. I checked it, and have to excuse these kids that are screaming and hollering next door here. Just a bunch of kids down here playing. So I put a new deck belt on it along with the new boots. I fixed the bushings in the front end. But yeah, I hadn't hooked the battery on this, and the alternator alone will run that headlight nice and bright, so I'm assuming probably it's going to stay charged up good. I obviously put a brand new battery in it. I changed the gas tank over to this 1980 style tank. I took the saddle tank off because what I discovered was the saddle tank sat too low, and it actually sat a little bit below the level of the carburetor. So it wouldn't run it out of gas. It would only run down to about a quarter of a tank of gas, and it would run out. So I put this bigger tank. I mean, this 11 horse engine's obviously a lot thirstier than the old 8 horse was, or the 5 horse, or whatever was on this thing. So I've mowed a couple times with it. I mowed my neighbor's field across the street over there the other day with it. The machine works pretty good. Like I said, the only problem I was having with it was that motor was kind of spitting and sputtering, not running good. So I changed out the spark plug, and that seems to have fixed it. So I've had the carburetor off in it numerous times, made sure it was clean. I mean, that carburetor sat outdoors here for a long time, and it did have a lot of water damage in it, but I got it cleaned up and it seems to work okay. Now, that carburetor is one that has the Vitton seal on the needle valve, and knock on wood, so far it doesn't flood out when you shut the thing off. So, well, anyways, that's it, I guess. Sorry about all these boneheads driving up by here right wide open. People seem to think this place is a racetrack up through here, and the speed limit's 25 miles an hour. Really irritates me sometimes. But so anyways, I guess that's probably going to be the final update on this machine until I get ready to paint it, which probably at this point I probably won't do until next summer, because I got some other things to get taken care of here before winter gets here. Also, you may notice this video is not in high definition. I just decided to make this a short video. There's not many details to see here, so I just did it in SD. Takes hours and hours to upload an HD video, so I'm really trying to avoid that. So anyways, have a good evening. I'll see you all again sometime.